Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Faces and Heels, your pro wrestling podcast here on the KB Radio Network. And it is WrestleMania weekend, and we are deep in it, man. We are halfway through the weekend, and what an exciting first night of WrestleMania. I was going to just do a one show just recapping the whole 2 night event, and I wasn't prepared to kill myself with that, so I decided we're gonna break it down by night, and this is night one review of WrestleMania 39. WrestleMania goes Hollywood, and what a show! What a show! And it started off with a bang. We opened up with a little I guess you could say, video package with Kevin Hart introducing the show, and we had The Miz, who is hosting WrestleMania. He comes out with none other than Snoop D-O double G himself, and got the crowd riled up, amped up for this show, and we went right into it. The opening match of the night of the weekend, the United States Championship was on the line with the champion, Austin Theory, defending that championship against the legend, John Cena. And I was looking forward to this match. And I must say, I'm not disappointed with the match per se. I kind of figured that's how the match was going to go. But it kind of made me realize that, yeah, John, well, poor John Cena. John Cena never had a a big arsenal of moves, so I wasn't expecting a 5-star match here. But you could tell throughout this match that poor John Cena, he's getting old, and not so much he's getting old, but he hasn't wrestled in a minute, and he looked gassed throughout the match. Really, Austin Theory carried this match. It was decent. It was nice to say it was a opening match. So it wasn't horrible, yet it wasn't the greatest thing on earth. Austin Theory comes out victorious, defending his champion, retaining the United States Championship against John Cena. We had a referee bump. We had I'm not John, but Austin Theory pulling an Evander Holyfield, trying to bite the ear of John Cena, biting the hand of John Cena as he had the STF FU locked in. It was a lot going on. It had some low blows in there as well, but he did come out victorious. I guess you can quote unquote say it was a clean victory. He beat him clean in sorts, but it was all right. I give this out of 5 stars, and I'm gonna rate every match by stars. That's what normally that's how wrestling matches are rated. So, out of 5 stars, I rate the United States Championship match between John Cena and Austin Theory 2.5 stars. I think it was a decent opening, all things considered. I mean, this was supposed to be sort of a pass the torch match, because they're trying to push Austin Theory. And Austin Theory, I'm a fan of his. I really enjoy what they've done with Austin Theory and what he has done with his role thus far. Coming from NXT, teaming up with Vince McMahon, and just being this snobby heel and winning the United States Championship, feuding with Seth Rollins and everybody else. It's it's been exciting with Austin Theory. I don't think this really helped Austin Theory, and that's why I'm kind of disappointed with it. I thought this would be like the the match to really put Austin Theory in the higher tier, not so much mid card, but in the big championship picture, the Universal Championship picture. And this, in my opinion, did not help him, but it was a good showing by him. I don't think that John Cena helped him too much. But no fault to his. I mean, John Cena, this is like his second match in 2 years. So, I mean, I can't really fault him for that. In any event, yes, this match gets 2.5 stars. This brings us to our second match of the evening, and the one, if you listen to my preview show for WrestleMania, the one I was least looking forward to. I was not looking forward to this fatal four-way tag team match. Uh, it just looked like something, a throwaway match to get put people in just to say they was in WrestleMania. Well, this match consisted of Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. And boy, I'm sorry, I had to take a moment because I had to swallow my humble pie. This was a match. This is a WrestleMania match. Wow. From beginning to end, we started off with Chad Gable and Ricochet putting on a clinic, and then everybody else got involved. You got high spots with big men. You got high spots with the Viking Raiders coming off the ropes, doing sunset flips. You got Braun Strowman jumping off the top rope. You got you got everybody getting involved with a super suplex off the, the top of the. It was bananas. And it was exciting. It was never a dull moment. You never got bored watching this match. I have never been so happy to have been so wrong in my life. This was an awesome match. And I mean, I had tears in my eyes watching this match. I really did. I mean, everybody got a spot. Every team and every individual from that team got a spot to shine. And that's why I loved it so much. The Fatal Four-Way Men's WrestleMania Showcase, which was won. I'm so excited, I forgot to tell you who won. The Street Profits came out victorious in this match, which was an exciting spot for them to win as well, because the rumors had been swirling for a couple of months that they were going to break up the Street Profits. They were going to push Montez forward as a singles superstar and all this here, which still could happen, but this really kind of puts a monkey wrench into that they're going to break them up plan if they're winning this showcase. But they did come out victorious. This Fatal Four-Way gets 4 stars. 4 stars. The reason is 4 because it was quick. It was quick. It wasn't a long match. It really wasn't. They did what they had to do and they moved on. And hey, I appreciated it for it. It didn't drag at all. What an exciting match. This was a WrestleMania match. The Fatal Four-Way gets 4 stars. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Speaking of awesome, our next match. I figured this was going to be a banger, being as though this consists of two of the most athletic individuals in WWE, and that is none other than the singles match between Seth freaking Rollins and Logan Paul. And it did not disappoint. What a match. This was another WrestleMania level match that uh, people are going to be talking about for a while. It started off a little creaky. I was like, it's all right. I wasn't too excited about it, but I was excited for the match, but I wasn't excited while it got it, engine started revving up. And then it started revving up. It was amazing. Of course, Logan Paul. Look, you can feel how you feel about Logan Paul. I'm not the biggest Logan Paul fan per se, but man, every time he steps in the ring, he he impresses me, man. He is a true WWE superstar. I got to give it to him. He impresses me every single time he steps in the ring, and he didn't disappoint here. Him and Seth Rollins really put on one heck of a match. Some real interesting spots. I loved that early goings. We saw that Logan Paul was dominating the match to a degree. Then we move on to when it was kind of a back and forth. We started seeing their athleticism come to play. Uh, the hand, Paul's right hand, became a story beat because we know that for the past couple of weeks, Logan Paul has knocked out Seth Rollins with that right hand, being as though he has that titanium screw in it. And Seth Rollins stomping on that hand and kind of taking it out of the equation. Man, the spot with oh boy, I forgot who they said his name was, but oh boy, who was in the prime little mascot thing, and Seth Rollins yanked him onto the table as Logan Paul jumped on him. Uh Perfect timing. You know how hard that is to pull that off perfectly? They pulled it off perfectly. And it was it was flawless. This was actually like two veterans going at it. I know that Seth Rollins is a veteran. He's been around for years, you know, going back to the Indies or Ring of Honor and NXT and on the main roster and all this here. But Logan Paul, like I said, continues to impress. The way he's stuck in there with it, the way he's smart about the way he moves in the ring. And I loved it. Seth Rollins come out victorious in this match. Hard fought match. Like I said, it started off a little slow, but when it got going, it was 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. It was it was lights out, man, and it moved swiftly. Like I said, Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul gets 4 stars. So the night is I mean, it's looking good so far. I know it started off kind of rocky with the John Cena Austin Theory match, but it was still a good match nonetheless. So I'm confident at this point. So we're moving on to our next match, and it is the triple threat tag team match between Becky Lynch, Lita, who are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, along with Trish Stratus, going against Damage Control. And I wasn't super excited for this match. I wasn't expecting much because honestly, I wasn't impressed with the build up to this match. I wanted to see Becky Lynch and Bailey go at it, but you threw in these other elements, which it's fine, but it just did not get over with me. Uh, Lita, I love Lita. I was a big fan of Lita back in the day. Was a flyer and all this here, but she she she's not moving like like she used to. You could tell she's getting older. She's not as agile as she once was. Trish Stratus, she can still do what she do, but she was just thrown in here. She just popped up and it was all right. Trish is here. Let's have a three-way tag team match. It just didn't work for me. Um, I had predicted that Damage Control would win this match because Damage Control, ever since they came together in, I think it was SummerSlam when they debuted, and the consensus behind it was they were supposed to take over the women's division and make an impact. They haven't done nothing. They won the women's tag team championship. Don't get me wrong, that's all fine and good, but let's be honest here, people. The women's tag team championship has not held the prestige as other championships in the WWE. It's become a joke, really, and they want it. They haven't done anything with it. They haven't won any big matches other than that. Um, Matter of fact, if memory serves, I think they win that on Raw. I don't even think it was on a pay per view they won. I could be wrong, but it just didn't have the impact. So here we go into this match. Like I said, wasn't hyped up for it, but it, it is what it is. And just as expected, it didn't do much for me. It was an all right match. Actually, it was the worst match of the night, to be to be completely fair and honest. I did not enjoy it. Uh, it was just a decent match, and they could have did this on Raw. To be to be honest with you, there were a couple of good spots in it, but it was kind of sloppy. A couple of botches in it. Uh, at the end, yeah, it was cool. Becky Lynch did the manhandle slam off the top rope with Becky, which led them to their victory. It was an all right match. It just didn't. It wasn't WrestleMania level match in my eyes. So the three-way tag team match between Damage Control versus Becky Lynch and Lita and Trish Stratus gets 2.5 stars. It was, eh. Um, it was it was probably the worst match of the night, to be honest with you. It didn't really tell a story, didn't move anything further along other than the fact that Damage Control is not working. And it's sad because I like all three individuals in Damage Control. Love Bailey. I like Io Sky. I like Dakota Kai, but they're not working together. And to be honest with you, Bailey is a future Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer, and this is really pulling her down because Bailey has not won anything since she returned from her injury since SummerSlam, and I'm kind of worried. At you know what I'm saying? Like what's going to happen moving forward with Bailey? Because it feels like Damage Control is holding her back. And to be honest with you, Damage Control is holding all three of these women back. Because all three of them can do marvelous work. Individually, they did it individually in NXT as well as the main roster. It's, concerning Bailey. Bailey has won every championship there was. She's a Grand Slam champion. Io Sky, I mean, what she did in NXT was phenomenal. Even Dakota Kai, she made an impact for her stint in NXT. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll get it together. Maybe they're uh after Mania there'll be some type of push or a different storyline they can run into because at this point there's really nothing else they can do. They did all they could do, fought all who they can fight on Raw. Maybe they move to SmackDown, start feuding with Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this was kind of a letdown of a match. Even though I wasn't expecting much, I was expecting something, and I didn't get it. All right, we move on to the father versus son match that has been building since forever. It feels like the Mysterios, man. This has been a storyline that I did not expect to be deeply invested in like this. Especially Dominic. Dominic, I thought was like, man, this is nepo baby. It's pure nepotism. His father is Ray. This is the only reason he's on the main roster or whatever. Man, Dominic has been a joy. He's been killing it in this little character that he has, man, with the prison thing and especially in the he being led out in handcuffs. I mean, this was his beautiful. I love this character and I love this story. And here we go. Dominic Mysterio versus his father, Hall of Famer. Rey Mysterio in a cinnamon toast in a cinnamon toast crunch match. I don't even know why. I don't know what. I understand the sponsor thing, but why cinnamon toast crunch sponsored this match? The world may never know, but that's besides the point. Um, this was a banger. This got off. I it told a story. It uh it had everything you wanted out of a WrestleMania match. You had the grand intros. You had the with Dominic coming in with the police escort with the mask, handcuffed, coming out the back of a paddy wagon. You got Rey Mysterio first coming out to Dr. Dre being driven in a lowrider by Snoop Dogg. Then it switches to Eddie Guerrero, the late great Eddie Guerrero's music, and then it goes into the 619 Booyaka and beautiful introductions, man. I was I was in there clapping and tearing up all at the same time. I love Rey Mysterio. Been watching Rey Mysterio going all the way back to WCW, even when he didn't have the mask on, you know. But I loved it, and I stated before how much I've been enjoying Dominic, man. Dominic has been holding it down. I am so impressed by this young man. The match starts in, like I said, the story. You felt the story being told. Has some really good spots. Uh, Dominic getting into it with his mother and his sister, throwing water in his sister's face, and you know, uh, uh beating up on Ray. Ray getting the upper hand on him. Ray pulling off his belt and whooping and whooping Dominic in the corner. It's like, oh my god, this is epic. Beautiful storytelling. Uh, we got Judgment Day coming in to assist Dominic. I figured that was going to happen. Uh, Previously, I skipped this part. Bad Bunny was at the Spanish announce table as a guest, and Bad Bunny is going to be the host of Backlash, which is taking place in Puerto Rico next month. So that's going to be cool, man. That being said, I had a feeling that he was going to get involved with this match, especially when Judgment Day came out. In particular, Damian Priest, because if you remember, a couple of years ago at WrestleMania, Damian Priest and Bad Bunny were teammates. They were tag team partners at WrestleMania, and that looks like it is the setup for Backlash, and with Bad Bunny getting involved to the degree where he just took the chain out of Dominic Mysterio's hands, causing him to be distracted and allowing Ray to get the upper hand and the victory. And after the match, we see Ray with his wife and his daughter celebrating in the ring, while Dominic is being carried off by the rest of Judgment Day, looking back in disgust. Mwah, chef's kiss. Awesome match, awesome storytelling. I, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. One of the best matches of the night. Ah, what more can I say? Uh, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio gets 4.5 stars. Awesome, awesome match. I mean, they could have that could have been the main event. That really could have been the main event of the night. Honestly, it was so epic. I, it was so epic. But we still have two more matches to go. This leads us into the SmackDown Women's Championship match. The SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, taking on mommy herself, Rhea Ripley. Yes, the same Rhea Ripley who at the Royal Rumble started off at number one and went through 29 other women to win the Royal Rumble. And she picked Charlotte Flair, which was to the chagrin to a lot of people who felt she should have went up against Bianca Belair. I was one of them. I was truly one of them. I felt that this was a missed opportunity. I wanted to see her and Bianca go at it. And I, I, look, this is tough. This is hard. This is hard. This was the best match I have ever seen for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'll say that. I'm not going to say it's the best match of ever or anything like that, but this was the greatest SmackDown Women's Championship match I have ever seen. That I'm 100% confident in saying. My God, what a match. I was completely wrong. Uh, we would have been robbed. Even though I think Rhea and Bianca would put on a banger, I don't think it could have went like this. Man, look, hats off to Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is one of the best women wrestlers in the world. Period. I don't care what the promotion is. You can go WWE, NXT, AEW. I don't care. This this Charlotte Flair has brought it every single time. Um, yeah, it gets aggravating at times with her. And you know why it gets aggravating with Charlotte Flair? Because she's just that good. You know, when someone's that good at their craft, it's hard. It really gets hard and it gets stale at times. But she is really that good. She is amazing. You can rival Charlotte Flair to some men wrestlers. Honestly, she's better than some men wrestlers. A lot of men wrestlers. I love Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is amazing in the ring. And Rhea Ripley is on a trajectory to that point. You know, been a fan of her since NXT. Enjoy her on the main roster with Judgment Day and everything. And I figured that this match would be more physical. You know, these are two powerhouse women. Charlotte Flair relies on her strength a lot. We know that Rhea Ripley is a powerhouse. So I figured this was going to be that type of banger. But there was so much more to it. Once again, storytelling. This match told a story. These two women were robbed in 2020 due to the pandemic at that WrestleMania when they faced off. Uh, Even though that was a good match, it was a good match. It looked over because they they had a match in an empty arena, you know, in an empty performance center due to the pandemic. But it was a good match. This amped it up to 11, man. This was such a good match. Both women, uh, they pulled everything out of their arsenal. Charlotte Flair flipping off the top rope, taking bumps like a champ. I mean, that German suplex where she landed on her face, just no protection. Her hands weren't out. I mean, landed straight on her face. It was like, my God, is she all right? Uh, the big boots, the kicking out of each other's finishers, and just doing everything they could. I mean, they left it out there. Before tonight, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, well, Charlotte Flair more than Rhea, voiced her opinion that she felt that this should have been the main event. This match should have been a main event, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's just Charlotte Flair, always wanting the spotlight and blah blah blah." No, this should have been the main event. And don't get me wrong, the match after this was great and all, but this was a banger. We have a new SmackDown Women's Champion, and it is none other than Rhea Ripley. And boy, I am so happy this match went like it did. 5 stars. 5 stars. I'm not over embellishing at all. This was an amazing match of the night. Probably, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow night, but my God, this I can't see another match on this card that can rival this, that can outdo this. Hopefully, they'll prove me wrong, but the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, where uh, Rhea Ripley becomes the new SmackDown Women's Champion, gets 5 stars. Period. Period. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had an impromptu WrestleMania match, which, whatever. Uh, we had The Miz taking on Pat McAfee, which was like whatever. This was this was your bathroom break match. This was the match where we've been sitting here for 3 hours, need a little palate cleanser, go grab you something out the refrigerator or something. Cause that's what I did. I ain't even bothered watching this. I'm gonna be honest with you, but the little bits that I did catch, it was like, whatever. Pat McAfee wins this match. It was a quickie. Thank God. George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers, he got involved, and boom, Pat McAfee comes out the victor. This gets 1.5 stars. It was like, man, it was just there to be there. It really didn't. I mean, at this point, this is a 3 hour long show. It's time to it's time to move on. I don't know why they had to throw that in. I don't get it. Anywho's, yeah, it's whatever. So now we arrive to the moment that we've all been waiting for, the main event of night one, a portion of the greatest storyline in wrestling history, in my opinion, the Bloodline storyline that has just taken pro wrestling by storm. We have the undisputed tag team champions, the Usos, putting those titles up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who was a member of the Bloodline and was expelled from the Bloodline, if you will, for betraying Roman Reigns, and I think at the Royal Rumble, and uh, Jey Uso, who wasn't on board with Sami Zayn at first, then became a brother, was his biggest champion, and the betrayal behind that, it was, oh my God, it's chef's kiss with that storyline, which all came to a head tonight in this tag team championship matchup. And look, as far as the this match, going into it, I was on board with Sami Zayn taking on Roman Reigns, and taking the titles off of Roman Reigns. That was my thing. As much as I like Cody Rhodes, I I felt that the story was progressing to that, to Sami Zayn be the one to take the titles off of Roman Reigns. And I can honestly say, once again, I've been proven wrong on several occasions tonight, and this was another one. This is what it needed to be. It needed to be this match. This match had everything that you would want involving the story between the bloodline, the blood feud, if you will, um, the brothers versus brothers aspect, if you will, with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens coming together to beat the Usos or fight the Usos, ultimately beating them. And storytelling in this match was epic. And this is one thing I can take away from tonight, from night one. I honestly love the storytelling, and this tag team match was the best out of them all, storytelling wise. We had some of the best spots in a tag team match, some of the best near falls. I mean, two and a half, uh, 2.5 counts, uh, near falls, devastating finishers that were kicked out of. It was everything you can ask for, all the emotion. I mean, I teared up at the end. I'm gonna be honest with you. I teared up at the end of this match because the emotions were just running wild. Oh, what a match that ultimately saw the Usos lose their titles to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And it couldn't have been done any better. This was an epic night one for WrestleMania. Uh, the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match between the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens gets 5 stars. Epic match, truly worthy of its main event status. To say that a tag team match was the main event tonight was weird, but it deserved it. It was amazing. This was an amazing night. Not every match hit, but the majority did. Even the subpar matches were decent. There were no matches in here, with the exception of the Pat McAfee Miz. I wouldn't even count that as a match. I don't even know what. I don't even know why that was there. But like I said, that was a bathroom break match. Whatever. But the majority of them were great. There weren't any severe botches that I saw. None that was like, oh my god, ugh. You know, that was embarrassing to watch. That you kind of cringe when you look at it. It was none of that. These were some good spots. This was truly a WrestleMania night to remember. And like I say, I don't know how we're gonna top it tomorrow night in night two, but I am excited to see if that actually happens. Oh man, what a night! What a night! Uh, Great start to this weekend. It actually puts fear in me because this is a high bar that was set. You know, and you look at the card for tomorrow night, it's not as it's mm, I don't know how to put it, because you look at like a Brock Lesnar versus Omos match. You know that's not going to be a high star rated match. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be basically a squash match. Um, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna judge the fatal 4-way tag team match with the women, because the men's, I was like, tonight with the men's, I was going into it, I was like, whatever, but man, it was one of the best matches of the night. It was epic. So you know, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I'm excited, happy for the results of this match. Well, this the matches of tonight rather. So yeah, man, I can't wait for tomorrow night. I want to know, what was your favorite match of the night? Which one excited you? Which one had you on the edge of your seats, jumping up, clapping? Man, I had about 4 or 5 of them. I can't pick. I cannot choose. All there were some really good matches tonight. But I want to know which one you thought was the best, or you just waiting for tomorrow night. You have a particular one tomorrow night that you're looking forward to. Let me know by emailing the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also look me up on Twitter at KB Radio Network and on other social media platforms. Just look up the KB Radio Network. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show with everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget about dropping a like and subscribing to the channel there as well. Boy, this was exciting. What a perfect time to start this show, this new show here on the KB Radio Network, Faces and Heels. I'm excited to talk about wrestling. This is one of my uh, passions, my pleasures, not guilty pleasures. This is my pleasure. I love WWE, and I can sleep good tonight. Until tomorrow, and it's gonna be exciting as well. I'm confident in that. So until tomorrow night when we recap night 2, I want you all to get good night rest. Rest up. I know we all amped up in adrenaline filled from this exciting night 1. So I don't know. Just sleep all day. Get you some good rest tomorrow. It's Sunday. It's a lazy day. So rest up for tomorrow night. Until then, everybody, have fun, be blessed, be well, and that's the bottom line.